CnpQueen is back at it again, huh? She never learns her lesson, does she? Here's a poem I made for her to see. CnpQueen is still talking about avatars again, like digital outfits paying all the rent. Every conversation somehow circles right back to who got better items in a virtual stack. She enters the lobby like a self-appointed curator of a museum full of JPEGs, acting like pixels are a bloodline and not compressed rectangles. Whole ego built on matching clothes and a face, like confidence got assembled from clearance bin marketplace scraps. Talking down on people like she sits on a throne, meanwhile insecurity blaring like a smoke alarm with dying batteries. Because secure people don't spend all day pressed about somebody else's avatar getting dressed. She flexes so hard you'd think Roblox mails her tax forms, like rare accessories or honorary degrees in being interesting. Whole personality waving inflatable tube man arms screaming, "Notice me," while everyone else already scrolled past 3 updates ago. And the funniest thing nobody says to her face? The louder the flex, the more it sounds like a cardboard crown in a rainstorm. Because if avatars truly made somebody great, you wouldn't be begging for validation like a street magician demanding applause after every trick. So let CnpQueen keep talking and putting on shows, inspecting avatars like she's judging the Met Gala for action figures. Meanwhile, everybody laughing quietly instead, watching somebody try to stitch relevance out of virtual shoelaces and cosmetic threads. CnpQueen calling bodyguards in a hangout game argument, like Roblox HQ launched a federal avatar relocation program before lunch. Bragging, my slenders got me, chin aimed at the moon, like the moderation team assigned a tactical unit to defend her core blocks bundle. She acts like the server's a collapsing digital nation, like Brookhaven SWAT just secured her spawn location. Whole squad lined up like a clearance rack superhero crossover, protecting a reputation valued at 11 Robux, a free UGC hat, and unresolved lag. You better stop talking before my friends arrive. Buddy, this is Roblox, not a royal court where dynasties survive. Nobody shaking at matching stitch face grins in copy-paste fashion. Y'all look like Hot Topic lost power and the mannequins formed a coalition. She treats every call-out like an international emergency, then summons bodyguards the instant her confidence enters surgery. That's the joke, doing backflips in plain sight. The reinforcements load in faster than her self-esteem respawns. The Slenders stand there trying desperately to look lethal, typing movie trailer threats with all the menace of a broken vehicle. Meanwhile, the whole server's watching, fighting for oxygen, like the final boss got patched out and replaced with a substitute hall monitor. At this point, it's stand-up. Nobody's alarmed, just 3 avatars posing like they smuggled military hardware through Adopt Me. CnpQueen acting untouchable, feared, and supreme, until the entire security detail gets spawn-camped by a breakdancing bacon hair and a sentient traffic cone meme. That's the legacy, the empire, the fearsome regime. A full-scale Roblox witness protection operation for someone nobody had put on their friends list to begin with. People called her out calm, simple, and clear. Meanwhile, CnpQueen detonated in chat like a corrupted Wii boss fight possessed by expired Mountain Dew and 3 unpaid demons. Her face glowed crimson, like her CPU tried rendering 9,000 explosions inside Minecraft RTX, while Chrome had 700 tabs open. She hammered the keyboard with the fury of a speedrunner losing world record pace to a folding chair glitch and then blaming gravity. "My bodyguard's coming!" She shrieked. The line landed like a cell phone wrapped in a threat and immediately became the funniest thing anyone had heard all night. Then 3 matching Slenders spawned in like cursed Sims NPCs downloaded from a haunted USB. They slid into the lobby shoulder to shoulder. Dollar store Overwatch energy, gas station sushi confidence, defending nonsense like tutorial enemies convinced they were Sephiroth. The entire server froze, like somebody unplugged reality mid-QuickTime event. Everyone just stared, watching this side quest mutate into forbidden DLC content. Then she started pacing in circles, spamming caps lock like a malfunctioning arcade cabinet on fire. Her voice cracked through VC so violently it sounded like Discord itself was trying to escape the conversation. The Slenders stood behind her like a bargain bin boy band assembled by an algorithm that only understood hair gel. chain necklaces, and bad decisions. They looked less like bodyguards and more like three NPCs waiting for their dialogue tree to load. One nodded dramatically. Another echoed the same threat 5 seconds later. The third just existed with the confidence of a loading screen tip. One bodyguard yelled over another. Mic static burst everywhere. Keyboard slams collided nonstop. The lobby turned into a collapsing convention center, powered entirely by monster energy, unresolved trauma, and a suspicious lack of adult supervision. The more people called her out, the harder she spiraled. She typed paragraphs so aggressive they looked generated by a raccoon trapped inside an RGB gaming chair after drinking pre-workout. Chat exploded with nonstop notifications and digital debris. Like somebody activated every cheat code, air horn emote, and nuclear kill streak inside the same loading screen. Every sentence got louder, more unhinged. As if her keyboard gained sentience, unionized, and declared war on human civilization. Eventually, people stopped replying altogether. The meltdown had evolved beyond argument territory. Now it resembled a live service game server moments before catastrophic shutdown. And the funniest part? Everybody could see it. The untouchable Queen crashing harder than Cyberpunk on launch day running on a microwave. Because secure people don't summon backup squads like a Fortnite reboot van emergency. And they definitely don't need pixel bodyguards forming a defensive phalanx like level 3 goblins protecting expired loot crates. Meanwhile, her squad kept parroting the same threats with the coordination of broken Alexa devices underwater. She spammed insults so fast, autocorrect visibly gave up, clocked out, and started job hunting on LinkedIn. At that point, nobody even argued back with heat. They just spectated the meltdown like Twitch chat, watching a streamer accidentally leak their taxes live. CnpQueen kept screaming while the whole lobby clipped every second for gold. Like Waluigi slipping down 47 Mario Kart banana peels while the soundtrack kept speeding up and the cameraman refused to cut away. One bodyguard rage muted themselves by accident. Another disconnected mid-threat like their router filed a restraining order. She wanted fear and respect, got reaction memes instead. Now her bodyguards stood there buffering emotionally like NPC guards after you steal 17 wheels of cheese in Skyrim. Then came the final implosion. Mic peaking. Caps lock jammed, insults devolving into pure keyboard hieroglyphics. Her voice cracked into the digital equivalent of a smoke alarm being thrown down concrete stairs. By the time she rage quit yelling, "Y'all obsessed with me," in one last dramatic spree, the lobby wasn't intimidated. It was cry laughing, like they'd just witnessed the final boss unplug their own console, blame lag, and demand a rematch. She arrived demanding fear with backup dancers and villain speeches, and left as a permanent reaction image burned into everybody's clip folder forever. The rare achievement unlocked by losing an argument so hard it becomes community folklore. At 15, a lot of people are still figuring out how to handle embarrassment, attention, and arguments online. You can roast the behavior without going after her personally or trying to humiliate her for her age. Here's a funny version that keeps the focus on the situation. And the wildest part? All this chaos over a pixel game at 15 years old. CnpQueen screams about bodyguards in Roblox chat, like the FBI kicked down the door over a missing virtual hat. The lobby bites their lips, trying hard not to crack, while she treats a block game squabble like a world-scale diplomatic attack. People calmly call out all the attitude and flex, while she fires off novel-length paragraphs fueled by panic and stress. Her face glowing crimson red, keyboard clattering in a swarm, guarding digital outfits like crown jewels through every storm. "My Slender's got me," she yells with pride, as three matching avatars dramatically strut and glide. Posing like movie villains, determined to look mean. in a game where a giant banana just got crowned prom queen. That's the funniest part nobody can ignore. The tougher she acts, the less intimidating than before. Real confidence doesn't need a backup crew to shield an ego held together with digital glue. Now the lobby's not even angry anymore. They've grabbed popcorn buckets and front row seats for the show, because every Roblox meltdown she tries to broadcast alive ends up archived forever as the server's favorite comedy drive. She came looking for reinforcements to help her win the fight, but somehow became tonight's headline act, stealing laughs all night. Then the Slenders finally showed up looking absolutely unhinged. Black shirts. No heads. Tiny glowing cyan porcupine quill legs, core blocks. Somehow supporting their entire existence. And those stitched-up smiling faces floating around like cursed Halloween stickers downloaded from the sketchiest website imaginable. They waddled into the lobby like rejected horror mascots from a game that never made it out of beta. The whole squad lined up dramatically behind CnpQueen like they were guarding ancient treasure instead of someone arguing about avatars in Roblox chat. One of them shuffled sideways so stiffly it looked like a shopping cart processing childhood trauma. Another stood motionless for 30 straight seconds like their Wi-Fi was buffering their personality. The third just stared with that stitched smile like a haunted pillow trying to understand taxes. Meanwhile, CnpQueen yelling, "My bodyguards got me." Son, your bodyguards look like somebody hot-glued LED lights onto unfinished scarecrows. The cyan quill legs glowing in the dark made them look less intimidating and more like defective glow sticks from a school carnival. Every step looked like geometry filing a formal complaint, and those stitched smiles somehow made it worse. Not scary, just aggressively confusing. Like their faces got stuck halfway between happy and please reconnect controller. The whole lobby stopped arguing just to stare. Nobody knew whether to fight them or troubleshoot them. That's the funniest part. CnpQueen thought she had summoned elite protection, but it looked like 3 haunted bookmarks started a union. At that point, nobody was even roasting anymore. They were observing the squad like rare aquarium exhibits. Because nothing says fearsome bodyguard energy, like floating stitched smiles, glowing toothpick legs, and the posture of unplugged desk lamps. Then somebody in the lobby typed, "What are they gonna do? Issue a strongly worded /E punch." And the entire server folded like a lawn chair. Even the Slenders looked stunned for a second. Just standing there with stitched smiles and glowing cyan spaghetti stick legs like haunted mall mannequins waiting for a software update. CnpQueen absolutely exploded after that. Immediate caps lock, immediate shrieking. Voice glitching like a dollar store microphone possessed by a demon. "Stop typing," she yelled, while the bodyguards stood behind her completely still like display models in a cursed spirit Halloween. Meanwhile, somebody else typed, "Nah, not the /E task force." That did it. The lobby's remaining brain cells clocked out. People spinning in circles laughing, avatars ragdolling through emotes, chat scrolling so fast it looked like a cryptocurrency collapse, and CnpQueen just kept getting angrier. Eyes watering, rage typing at warp speed, trying to regain control of a Roblox lobby that had already ascended into pure nonsense. The funniest part was the bodyguards still trying to look intimidating. One stepped forward dramatically with the structural integrity of a wet pretzel. Another confidently walked into a wall and appeared to accept his fate. The third just stared ahead with that stitched smile like a haunted throw pillow buffering a thought. Meanwhile, the chat kept roasting them. Bro rolled up with the glowstick militia. The Smile.zip squad has entered the server. Those legs got the durability of neon breadsticks. At this point, CnpQueen wasn't even arguing anymore. She was broadcasting distress signals into the abyss while 3 headless Hot Topic receipts stood guard beside her. She wanted fear. She wanted respect. She wanted the lobby to tremble. Instead, she accidentally launched the server's most successful community event. For the next 10 minutes, the entire lobby abandoned reality to participate in an unscheduled side quest called Defeat the E Task Force. New players spawned in and immediately asked for lore. Veterans stayed to provide eyewitness testimony. Random bystanders became recurring characters against their will. By the end, nobody remembered what the original argument was about. But months later, people still remembered the headless bodyguards, the glowstick militia, and the legendary/E task force. The fight ended. The screenshots didn't. Somewhere out there, a former lobby member can still type strongly worded/E punch and instantly summon 3 people who start laughing like they just unlocked a hidden achievement. And honestly, that's a far more impressive legacy than whatever CnpQueen was trying to accomplish. Then the Slenders finally decided to fight back. Whole squad charged forward dramatically, like they were late to an apocalypse nobody RSVP'd to. Black shirts flapping, cyan porcupine quill legs glowing, stitched smiles floating through the lobby like haunted decals that slipped containment. Meanwhile, the Bacons just stood there casually. No speeches, no villain monologues, just default outfits and pure confusion. One Bacon typed, "Bro, why they running at us like haunted Wi-Fi?" And somehow that made the Slenders even madder. They started jumping around wildly, spamming emotes and threats in chat like NPCs powered by expired energy drinks. One tried to look intimidating, but got stuck on a tiny stare for 8 full seconds. Another kept circling dramatically like a Roomba chasing destiny. Meanwhile, the Bacons absolutely cooked them without trying. One Bacon calmly sidestepped everything with the energy of somebody avoiding puddles after rain. Another just stared silently while the Slenders self-destructed emotionally in chat. The third Bacon hit a single comeback so devastating the entire lobby froze like YouTube on motel Wi-Fi. CnpQueen was screaming in the background the whole time, "Get them!" "Girl, your bodyguards built like glow sticks recalled before launch." Then came the final humiliation. One Slender rage quit mid-fight. Another accidentally emoted instead of attacking. The last one froze completely, looking like a haunted lamp downloading courage. And the Bacons? Still standing there peacefully with default smiles and zero effort. That's what made it legendary. The Slenders showed up looking like the final boss fight. The Bacons looked like they accidentally clicked play. Guess who won? Then the Bacons revealed the most random loadout imaginable. Swords, slingshots, paint guns. It looked less like the start of a battle and more like the opening scene of a garage sale action movie that somehow had a bigger budget than the actual war. Across the map, the Slenders marched forward with theatrical confidence. Stitched smiles, glowing cyan toothpick legs. They looked like final bosses from a movie filmed entirely in someone's basement and edited on a laptop held together by hope. In the background, CnpQueen was already screaming, "Get them now!" And the Bacons responded the only way they knew how, with pure chaos. One Bacon charged ahead, swinging a sword like a medieval knight who had accidentally wandered into a paintball arena and decided to commit to the bit. Another fired slingshot rocks with unsettling precision, landing hits so clean they felt personal and possibly taxable. The third stayed calmly in the back, coating the bodyguards in neon paint until they resembled angry pieces of abstract art that a museum would refuse to explain. Within seconds, the entire lobby was losing it. One Slender took a single hit and started hopping backward like a startled lawn ornament that had suddenly become self-aware. Another tried to maintain a tough guy pose while covered in bright paint splatters, looking more like a haunted birthday decoration than a threat. The third made a dramatic charge, only to get bonked by a slingshot pebble and immediately tumble off the map, with all the dignity of a shopping cart hitting a curb. Chat exploded. Bro got eliminated by Home Depot equipment. The cyan toothpick squad folding. Why the bodyguards built like glow-stick giraffes. Through all of it, the Bacons remained completely unbothered. No speeches, no screaming. Just default smiles and maximum disrespect. And CnpQueen? Absolutely furious. Typing so aggressively, the keyboard probably filed for workers' comp and entered witness protection, forced to watch her elite squad get folded by 3 Bacons armed with playground gear and paint supplies. That was the moment it became legendary. The Slenders had arrived looking like cursed villain DLC. and ended up getting sent back to the lobby by three smiling defaults who looked like they were on their way to a backyard birthday party and had accidentally overthrown a small empire.